we can talk to two couples on both sides of the process. So I'm joined now by Sabrina Edge and her daughter Kitty, who are in Driffield in Yorkshire, and by Lilia and Vitaly Malona, who have fled Ukraine, are now in Moldova and are hoping to join the Edge family. Well, welcome to all of you. Sabrina, let's kick off with your side of it then, shall we? Why did you feel compelled to try and help?
Well, it's not the first time we've been on a scheme like this. We were with Positive Housing and Action in 2016. So it's always, as a family, been an idea for us. We've got a spare room. And we just were watching the news with the breakout of the war, and we just felt compelled that we had to, offer two rooms that we have. And this was nearly 3 weeks ago. So, it was before the government had even announced any scheme, any incentive, nothing like that. It was just purely on we need to help. We've got the availability. Let's do something.
Wow, so you got there before the government. Fascinating. Well, let's go to Lilia in Moldova. And you've obviously managed to get out of Ukraine. So tell us your story then. Where were you and why did you decide to flee?
Yeah. One morning we woke up with such bad news, yes. And I can say that why it was unexpected, because it was a very early morning. Yes, we were preparing to take our kids to school and we were preparing to get to our workplace, and, my aunt called me in the morning and said, wake up quickly because it's going to be dangerous today to stay at home, because I could see some rockets in the sky over my house. And she lives 120 kilometers away from us. And it was like an evidence. I mean that it's a very close person called me and she said me, if I saw something maybe online, I wouldn't believe. And I was starting crying because I didn't know what exactly to do. And then we heard these alarm sirenes. And to tell the truth, the basements were not ready for accepting people. I mean, they were wet and dirty, so we couldn't stay there for long. There wasn't any water and so on. And we were really scared. I didn't know what to do. My children were crying. I was crying too. My husband tried to support, but we decided we live just not far away from Moldova. So we decided to leave this place, to go to abroad, because we decided it would be better for our family to stay there.
So why the UK? Perhaps you could ask your husband Vitaly how he feels about going to the United Kingdom.
Як ти почуваєш себе стосовно від'їзду до Великобританії?
Я почуваю себе добре, набагато. Це мене дуже радує.
He is very glad that we have such opportunity to change something, yes, in our life, because we can't see any future here, especially for our two daughters. They are still young. Yes, they're not ready for such like with war. I mean that we want to protect them first of all. And of course, he's a little bit worried because he can't speak English very well. But as I speak English very well, so it was my decision to go to the English-speaking country first. And we were thinking which one to choose. And we found this family. And to tell the truth, their support made us to go to UK.
Well, that's lovely, isn't it? And Sabrina, then, so how did that sort of connection part of it happen? Because that's been confusing a lot of people, how you get matched up with another family.
Well, we were lucky. My eldest daughter, sent a Facebook group that she'd seen. And I think 2 weeks ago, there was a couple of hundred people on it. And I think now it's like 50,000 people on it. There was a IT guys that had developed a website in 24 hours from Madrid, and I found them and put in my details. Lilia did that 2 weeks ago today, and she sent me a message on the 4th of March, an email saying, could we have a chat? We spoke, and, that's what we've been doing ever since. A lot of FaceTimes, a lot of tour around the house. And all of us have just got this real nice friendship that's, sort of naturally bloomed. We've all got similar interests. The girls have got a WhatsApp group with their eldest daughter, Victoria. So we're just desperate. We did the application today. It took 3 hours. And we're still no further forward on a date. So we can't plan, they can't plan. It's just, stressful.
So, Lilia, what are you holding up? And tell us about your children and how they feel. How old are they? And how do they feel about coming? What is quite a distance from Ukraine, to be fair?
Yeah, these are our 4 passports. Yeah, because I worked with them. I mean that we exchanged the information. Sabrina sent me her copies of the passport. I sent her our information. So we had a hectic day, but luckily we completed the application online. And yeah, we have 2 more daughters. Victoria is 14 and Ilona is only 6. Unfortunately, they went to sleep because they were tired today. Yes, they're also worried about moving to other country, because sometimes they say, oh, we want to come back home, but unfortunately, I don't know how to say that we can't back. All the things are there, and they sometimes want to take some toys, and they say, unfortunately, we can't take all of them. So I mean that, yeah, we are very lucky, I can say so. And I hope a lot of families will be as lucky as we are. Yes, they will be able to apply. Unfortunately, not all Ukrainians speak English, yes, and the website is not in Russian or in Ukrainian. And this is a problem, yes, because only I could apply myself. But usual people, for them, it's really difficult to apply because everything is in English.
I did see one thing, actually, that the Home Secretary put out in Ukrainian, so hopefully that will be changing. But Kitty, I wonder if I could speak to you. I don't know how old you are, how close you are in age to Victoria as well, and how you feel about having, effectively more children in the house.
Well, I'm 11 and I don't feel like uncomfortable with them coming. Like, I've spoke to them on like a WhatsApp group, and like we've got to know each other. So like I don't really know what to say.
Well, we've done lots of FaceTime, haven't we?
Yeah.
You're comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It's going to be interesting, certainly, for you and all the other families who want to join. One final thought from you, Lilia and Vitali. Obviously, you're desperate to move as soon as you can. But will you always look back at Ukraine and watch the pictures of what's happening in your country with sadness and, of course, the hope to return there?
Yeah, of course we are going to follow, yes, and of course we have such feelings that we don't need to leave our country, yes, and there is like a pain in my heart that I have to do it, unfortunately, yes, because of all these bad circumstances, yes, and sometimes I think, oh, should I really do it, or maybe I should do something, but I understand that we have to do it because it's really becomes really dangerous. For example, there was a rocket along the river which we live near. Yeah, I can see the river through the window. There was a rocket flying to Vinnytsia, yes, and it was destroyed in the air. It turned just next to our town, to Vinnytsia, and it's becoming more and more dangerous to stay here.
Best to keep your children safe, isn't it? We really appreciate you all joining us. We wish you the very best of luck. Lilia and Vitali Malona, and I'm sure there'll be English lessons for all the people who can't speak English, and also Sabrina and Kitty Edge. Well done to both of you, and fingers crossed you get to move soon. Thank you very much indeed.